Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us on this Monday. Appreciate you logging on. Today is going to be the first of many webinars on Noren Thermal Schedule in 2024. My name is Ray Bellardo with Noren Thermal Solutions. I've been with the company for 10 years. My primary focus is serving the thermal management team division. And on behalf of our Noren Thermal Solutions team, we want to thank you all for joining us for today's webinar topic, Does your control panel suffer from overheating? Solve it with Noren Thermal Solutions heat exchanger technology. We know that there are many types of solutions for cooling electrical enclosures and panels. You may be familiar with some of the different technologies out there, but today we are focusing on one specific technology you might not always think of, and that is heat exchangers that utilize heat pipe technology. During this 45-minute presentation, we will be accompanied by Hector Hernandez, an engineer with Noren Thermal Solutions. Hector has many years of experience in the heat exchangers and customized thermal solutions. Hector will explain to you the technology behind Noren Thermal's heat exchangers and the benefits of heat pipe technology. After Hector's presentation, I will introduce you to one of Noren Thermal's North American account representatives, Stephen Aaron. Stephen will take a few minutes to provide you with some valuable information about the tools Noren Thermal has available to you in assisting your sizing of your application so you can be sure to choose the right unit for your needs. Also, he will spend some time navigating our website for locations of our products and technical information. Any questions that arise during the webinar can be written in the chat box, and at the end of the presentation, we'll provide an answers to these questions as well as any additional questions that come up. A reminder to you that this webinar is being recorded and you will be able to revisit it again starting tomorrow on our official YouTube channel. Also, we will be sending you an email link so that you can view directly this webinar and share it with team members that may not be able to attend today. So without further ado, I leave you with our engineer, Hector Hernandez.
Thank you, Ray, and good day, everyone. My name is Hector Hernandez. I am mechanical engineer at Noren Thermal Solutions. I specialize in heat transfer, thermal conduction, electronic cooling application in general. And in today's webinar, as Ray mentioned, we are talking about overheating in electrical panels and how to solve it. To start, we need to understand why do we have heat inside of our electrical panel. There are many sources of heat on it. We have VFD, or variable frequency driver. We can find transformer, circuit breaker, contactor. How much heat do they generate? It depends on efficiency and energy consumption. Let's see an example. We have on the screen a VFD of 10 horsepower that it's 90% efficiency. The estimated heat load for this VFD is it's 330 watts or 1125 BTU per hour. This is a huge amount of heat for an electrical panel and it can cause overheating. As you can see in the picture, it's not just the BFD. There are some other devices connected to it that are adding heat into the electrical panels. The reason why do we enclose them in electrical panel, it's because these devices are really sensible to external contaminant like dust, moisture, corrosive chemicals also. And this is the reason why do we have heat inside of electrical panels. But why do we have overheating? We have four of the main reasons in this slide. First, it's poor ventilation. The most used technology to cool down electrical panels is the two-fan technology. One fan that introduces the ambient air to the electrical panel, and the other fan that is exhausting this air. We must take care to correctly dimensionate the cooling needed for our electrical panel. For example, if we have an electrical panel of 1000 watts of heat and we install two fans of 4 inches, probably these two fans are not capable to expel all the heat. Also, in electrical panels with high density components, sometimes there are hot spots where the air is not circulating in all the electrical panel. So this can cause some problems, like we can reduce the lifetime of the components, we can cause malfunction, we can damage the equipment, and some other problems. Another problem is inefficient cooling system. Another technology used to cool down electrical panels is air conditioning. However, this system has some issues related to them because they have not been designed specifically to cool down electrical panels, since electrical panels sometimes are operating in industry with uh, dust or even high humidity levels in the ambient. The filters of the air conditioning system get clogged, so we can reduce the performance of the air conditioning system, or even the air conditioning can shut down. So uh, again, if an electrical panel is operating with 1000 watts and we connect an air conditioning in, if the air conditioning is operating at 50% capacity, then we are going to have 500 watts of heat. This can cause overheating. And also, this will generate operational defect. We are going to reduce the lifetime. We are going to reduce our productivity. We are going to have many failures. Also, high ambient temperatures. With temperatures above 120, 130, or even 140 degrees Fahrenheit, we do not recommend ambient cooling applications like the two fans technology. Because if we are introducing the ambient air to the electrical panel, we are introduce heat inside of our electrical panel, and this will cause overheating. The interior temperature will raise. We can even increase dust, moisture that will raise even more the internal temperature. High heat load. This is another problem for electrical panels. Always remember that when you are adding electrical equipment to the electrical panel, you are adding heat, since all these equipment generate heat. Take in mind that the cooling capacity installed in the electrical panel is enough to take away this heat. We can cause damage to our equipment for higher temperature. We can cause failure. We are going to reduce the lifespan of our equipment, even fire in extreme cases. We can find some other problems that sometimes are related or not with overheating. Less the most used technology for his low cost is the two fans technology. One fan that is introducing the air and one fan that is exhausting this air. But the problem with this technology is that we introduce the ambient air. This ambient air can have dust, moisture. This dust will introduce into the electrical panel, even if we adapt filter to it, because the filter are not capable to trap 100% of particle. So this particle will enter to the electrical panel and will form a thin layer of dust. This thin layer of dust will avoid the heat transfer from the equipment to the ambient air, or to the air. Thus, then we can have overheating even if we have an airflow, because the air is not in contact with the equipment, it's in contact with the dust, and the dust is not a heat conductor. Corrosion in electrical panels, and also for some industries like food industry or industries operating near to the ocean, corrosion is a huge problem. since if the electrical panel if not completely sealed, then corrosion can start in the interior of the electrical panel and can damage our equipment. We can have problems in less than 3 months. So for this industry, we must completely seal the electrical panel. Condensation and humidity. Humidity exists everywhere. However, there are some industries that are most exposed to humidity, like water treatment, again, industry operating near to the ocean, or industry even when they have connected an air conditioning, because air conditioning works by introducing the ambient air into the electrical panel. Even if we connect to an air conditioner with too higher capacity, we can drop the temperature too much and reach the dew point. This will then condensation will start appearing into our equipment. It can cause a short circuit, it can cause an emergency stop, and this is really expensive for all companies. And now we are going to see how to solve all these problems. Noren especially designed and manufacture heat exchanger. These heat exchanger are designed to cool down electrical panels. We have two types of heat exchanger. We have ambient cooling or air-to-air heat exchanger, and we have below ambient cooling or air-to-water heat exchanger. We have some models on this presentation. For ambient cooling, we have the units CC600, CC400, CC450. For below ambient cooling, we have some CC3060, CC2060 that we are going to talk later. And the heart of our ambient cooling is the heat pipe. The heat pipe, or also called a superconductor. A heat pipe is a device used to transfer heat over large distances. It has three main components: the copper tube, the wick, and the working fluid. How it works? Well, as you can see in the picture, at the beginning, we have in the bottom the working fluid, who is in the liquid state. Then we apply heat. This working fluid will change his phase from liquid to vapor. The vapor will travel to the opposite side thanks to pressure differences. In the opposite side, for an ambient cooling application, we have the ambient air. The ambient air is forced to pass through around the walls of the heat pipe. This air will expel this heat, and the working fluid will change his phase from vapor to liquid, and it can return to the bottom end thanks to gravity and capillary forces. And as you may notice in this explanation, a heat pipe do not require an external source of energy, do not have movement part. The construction it's very simple. So the expected life is in the order of decades. Um, it is 1,000 times faster heat conductor than a solid copper bar. And remember that copper it's one of the best conductor in nature. And as I say at the beginning, this is the heart of our ambient cooling application that we are going to see now. As you remember, we have two types of heat exchanger: ambient cooling application and below ambient cooling application. We are talking now about of ambient cooling application. Um, there is a picture. There is an heat exchanger. This is an ambient cooling application. This heat exchanger it's mounted in one side of the electrical panel. This heat exchanger completely seals the electrical panel. That means that no air, dust, water, moisture can enter into the electrical panel. Uh, how it works? We have the internal air. The internal air rises in temperature because of the heat generated by the equipment. This air is forced to move and pass through the coil of the heat exchanger. This coil is made by heat pipes and fins. These devices trap the heat and conduct it to the opposite side. In the opposite side, we have the ambient air. The ambient air pass through the core of through the opposite core and expel the heat away. Now in the interior, the internal air loses this heat and drop in temperature. This air can now return to the electrical panel, thus avoiding overheating while protecting sensible electrical equipment from dust, moisture, water. And we have experience working with this technology in many industries like computer, transport, automation, food industry, and some other industries. Now we are going to see below ambient cooling. Again, these heat exchangers are mounted on the side or back of electrical panels. This heat exchanger again completely seal the electrical panel. That means that no air, dust, water, moisture can enter into the electrical panel. Most Noren heat exchangers require a source of water of 1 gallon per minute. This is very helpful for industries like plastic injection molding, irrigation system, food industry, and for example, for a water treatment unit, you can adapt a source of water to the unit and reintroduce back to the system without adding any harmful particles, since this unit comes with the certification NSF 61 and 372 that state that no harmful particles are added to the water that comes in contact with the unit. And again, we have the internal air in the electrical panel that raises in temperature. This air pass through the core of the unit. The heat is transferred from the air to the water. The water expel the heat away, and this air that loses the heat can return the electrical panel, uh, and providing cooling for all the components. And we recommend this for the industry, like I mentioned below, that already has a water system like a food industry, irrigation system, wastewater, water treatment, plastic injection molding. It's important to mention our certification, and as a company, we are ISO 9001 certified. All of our products are made in the USA. Also, all of our heat exchangers are UL certified for USA and Canada. Our products can be certified according to the ambient where they are going to be operating. We have type 12 for indoor. They withstand dust, spray water. We have NEMA type 4 for indoor and outdoor. They withstand dust, water, rain, snow. We have NEMA type 4X. They withstand dust, water, snow, moisture. These units are made in stainless steel. That means they are high corrosion resistant. And for industries like food industry, medical industry, salty environments, and also we have NEMA type 3R for severe weather with rain and snow. Also, our units can be certified for hazardous location. We have two certifications for hazardous location. We have Class 1 Division 2 for North America, Class 1 Zone 2 ATEX IECEX for international application for industry like oil and gas, mining, gas station, and also our air-to-water units comes with an special certification NSF 61 and 372 that state that no harmful particles are added to the water that comes in contact with the unit. The installation, it's for our unit, it's really easy. You do not require a special tooling to perform the job, or the person in charge do not require a special trainee. The installation can be done in less than an hour. And the maintenance, Northern heat exchanger are basically free maintenance. We recommend to change the fans. The fans comes with a 5 years life expectancy. So But we have experience with some application with the fan running for more than 10 years, but we recommend to replace the fan at 5 years. And accessories for our heat exchanger, we have three. We have fans, we have filter and filter kits, and gasket. Fans, as I mentioned, we recommend to replace the fans at 5 years. Filters. We recommend filter for some ambient cooling application. There is no way that dust, moisture, water can enter into the electrical panel. These filters have been designed specifically to protect the performance of the heat exchanger. And gasket. When you uninstall the unit and once need to install the unit again, you need to replace the gasket, since this gasket will maintain the airtight seal to your electrical panel. Uh, we have more than 55 years of experience providing cooling solutions, and we have experience in many industries. We have experience for electrical distribution, transport, packaging, food and beverage, wastewater, water treatment with our air-to-water unit, paper and bulk, industrial application, mining, aerospace and defense, oil and gas with our hazardous location, medical equipment, that also require stainless steel application, renewable energy, and more other industries. And in this slide, you can see some pictures of some of our heat exchanger connected in different industries. In the first, in color white, is an outdoor application. This is a communication system. As you can see, this is a rainy day, or units can be customized to operate in any weather. Next, we have an heat exchanger connected in a power distribution system. This is an outdoor application. It has a aluminum filter connected to it. Next, in the food industry, as I mentioned before, most of food industry applications require stainless steel heat exchanger. And next to it, we have an air-to-water heat exchanger. It's in stainless steel also. Maybe this can be a corrosive atmosphere. And in red color, this is an emergency water system. This system needs high reliability while operating. This is the reason why it has an heat exchanger, to avoid overheating while the system is operating. And next, we have an ambient cooling application. These do not require any filter. As I mentioned, not all of our applications require filter. And this has been all for me. I hope that this information has been really helpful for you. And we are back with Ray. Thank you, Ray.
Thank you, Hector, for sharing that valuable information about Noren Thermal Solutions technology and products. Now that we know a little more about Noren Thermal's heat pipe technology, I would like to introduce to you Stephen Aaron, an account rep for Noren Thermal Solution. He will he will review with you access to our popular tools and reference materials that are located on Noren Thermal's websites, and it's available to everybody. Thank you, Stephen.
Good morning. Happy New Year. Thank you all once again for participating today. My name is Steve Aaron, and I've been an account manager here at Noren for going on 5 years. I just want to take a few minutes of your time to show you some of the beneficial tools located on our website, most importantly, our sizing calculator. So I'm going to focus on our resources tab, which is here. We have a variety of information on here, most importantly, our cooling unit selection tool. We've developed a software to help you decide which unit to choose for your application. I'm going to go through a quick an example here of how to use it. Our first variable here, you're going to pick your power, your temperature, and your distance. So for this example, we'll use Fahrenheit, and we'll keep it in inches. It'll ask you what kind of unit you would like, so we'll keep it air to air, and how you want to mount it. We do have drop-in units and flush mount units. Our drop-in units mount from the top and protrude a little bit into the cabinet. Our flush mount units, as Hector stated, mount to the side with no intrusion into the cabinet. So we'll use flush mount here. It'll ask you your cabinet dimensions. So for this one, we'll use just our standard enclosure here, 72 by 48 by 24. It'll ask you the cooler mounting location. We'll keep this to the left and right of the cabinet. It'll ask you your environment type. For this example, we'll keep with standard. Open exposed surfaces. This calculator does take into consideration heat dissipation from the exposed surfaces. So when you choose this, to make sure that you have all of the exposed surfaces checked. So for this example, we'll do everything but the back of the cabinet. It will ask you the maximum allowable air temperature inside of the cabinet. For this one, we'll choose 120 and the maximum expected air temperature outside. And for this, we'll do 90. Heat load, it will ask you the maximum heat load generated by the components. For this one, we'll use 350, which is Hector's example earlier. If you don't know it, you can also click Help Me Find This, and it'll open up this window here to help you choose, to help you kind of decide which heat load or the heat load for that cabinet. You'll click on Calculate, and it'll ask you for your info. Here we'll put in your information here. And then click Calculate once again. And it'll pull up all of the units that will fit your cabinet and that will keep your temperature underneath the maximum allowable. You can do a couple of things from here. You can click here to get a quote, and this will send us an email to help get a formal quote. But you also click Unit Specs, and that'll pull up the actual spec sheet for that particular unit. Down here at the bottom, you can also print the results if you want to do that. Go back up here and do another example with our air to water units or our below ambient units. Same thing, it's going to ask you, we'll keep the same cabinet dimensions, keep all of the unit types the same. It will ask you now, we'll change this to the maximum water or 120, maximum expected air temperature will change to 100, and the maximum expected water temperature you're going to be using for your source water. For this one, we'll use 60 degrees, and this does calculate it at 1 gallons per minute. For the heat load, we'll up this to 1,000. And then we'll click Calculate. It won't ask you for your information again, just the first time. And then now we have all the air to water units that will fit this application. Again, you can click on any of these red links here to get to the spec sheet, or you can also click Get a Quote, and it will send us an email. And also under this resources tab at the top, there's a variety of other information such as case studies, our suffix glossary, which will help you with our nomenclature of some of our units, and it'll go over some of our abbreviations. It also has NEMA designations here at the bottom. We also have some information about our phase change technology and explanation, some thermal management concepts, and some white papers if you wanted to read up. Under our products tab here, this will bring you up to our full product line of either air-to-air units or air-to-water units. This will also, under the accessories, bring up filters, fans, and gaskets, which Hector talked about if you were needing those. Thanks again for your time. And again, as Ray mentioned earlier, if you have any questions or if you would like to ask any questions, stick around and we'll have a Q&A at the end of the webinar. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen. Now that you've been informed about Noren Thermal's technologies and benefits, we will start the questions and answers portions. Let's see if we have any questions out there. Here we go. We have a question. What are the common challenges in maintaining and operating a heat exchanger, and how can they be effectively addressed? I think that is for you, Hector.
Yes, this is a good question. A heat exchanger has many advantages compared to any other technology used to cool down electrical panels. One that I mentioned is that our units are practically free maintenance. You do not require to perform a maintenance of in our unit since for example, or ambient units, the core of the technology of or the heart of our unit, it's the heat pipe. And the heat pipe do not require an external source of energy, do not have movement part. Uh, uh, has an expected life or in the order of decades, so you don't need to worry about maintenance with our heat exchanger technology. Thank you, Rick.
Thank you, Hector. I have a question from Estella. Can heat exchangers replace air conditioning systems? I think that is for you, Hector.
Yes, this is a good question also. And of course, heat exchanger can replace an air conditioning and has many advantages compared to an air conditioning. First, it can cool down below ambient temperature. This is according to the water source that we are using. We can use from 40 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. And also the energy consumption is really low compared to any other technology. For example, an air conditioner to cool down 1,000 watts of heat, we probably need 1,000 watts of energy, while an heat exchanger require just around 100 watts. Also, maintenance costs. Maintenance costs are really expensive for an air conditioning system because they have a pump, they have a compressor that that require maintenance, and also the the ambient where there is going to be operating the unit has a lot to do because our heat exchanger can be custom to operate basically in any ambient, indoor, outdoor, in corrosive atmosphere with chemicals, while an air conditioning system has many problems operating with dusty environment, with high humidity, with corrosive chemicals in the ambient. Thank you, Ray.
Thank you, Hector. I have another question from Sophia. How long will it take to receive a unit if I order one? And what is the warranty period for the heat exchanger? I believe that would be a good question for Stephen.
Yes, our standard lead time for our units are about 3 to 4 weeks, depending on how many orders we have in-house. If you need it sooner, we do have some expedite options available. The best course of action would be to give us a call if you need it sooner, and we'll see if we can get it done for you. How many years does a warranty cover for a Noren heat exchanger? Our standard warranty is 1 year from the time of purchase. We also have available an additional 1 or 2 years available. Just check with your sales rep and he can get you that information. Thanks, Ray.
Thank you, Stephen. All righty, we still got a lot of questions, but I'm going to stop there. And if you do have additional questions, if you want to send them off to the chat, or you can email us to our customer service at norenthermal.com, we will get that answered back to you. Thank you very much. So I'm going to go ahead and end the webinar. We do thank you again for joining us today for this webinar as part of Noren Thermal Solutions celebration of 55 years of excellence in the thermal management solution industry. And on behalf of our entire Noren Thermal team, we thank you all for your attendance. And we hope that this event has been very important for you and your industries that you serve. Your presence has been very important to us, and we invite you to keep an eye on our official social network platform in the coming months. Noren Thermal will be broadcasting other webinar events that will cover a broad range of thermal management topics. And finally, I'd like to remind you that we will be emailing you a link so that you can review this webinar again. And again, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and thank you again for spending this time with us. And till the next time.